Hey guys, I'm here to share my word for the week. A word for the week is this new thing that I've started to do, and that's been, oh my gosh, a great help to me. And it's where I choose a word for the week to help focus my week. So irrespective of the dramas or whatever happens in that week, I can able to go back to that word. So my word last week was patience, and helped me out big time. It just helped me find more peace in the process, which is something that I personally needed. So yeah, that was my word for last week. What was your word? Let me know. I'll be interested to know how you got on. If you haven't got a word yet, don't worry. You can jump on the word for the week bandwagon, and I so encourage this because I think it helps build our character from the inside out, and I think it helps focus our week so we live intentional lives. Okay, word for the week. My word for this week is fearless. Fearless. Living a life where fear does not feature. I literally always, this is like a daily question to me. It shouldn't even be word for the week. It's like word for the day. Because I'm constantly like, Toby, what would your life be like if fear didn't feature? If you didn't get to negotiate with fear before you made a decision? Fearless, that's my word for the week. There was a Home and Away storyline years ago. Yes, I still watch Home and Away. Where this character basically thought he was invincible, or he thought that he was, I don't know, he was unable to die, basically. So he started doing all of these things that he was always wanted to do because he was no longer afraid. So, for example, he would have been before scared of heights. So, but because he thought that he was unable to die, he was now doing all of these things that he'd always wanted to do. And it just made me think, this is actually quite, this is actually quite deep. Yeah, Home and Away is deep. I thought, Toby, what would your life be like if fear didn't get a say? And I don't think fear should have a say. I don't think fear should have a say in the things that we do. I don't think we should have this mental kind of argument or discussion with fear in our mind. So I started to think of all the things I would do if I wasn't afraid. And that's my question to you this week. What would you do if fear didn't feature? How would your relationships be different? How would you take more risks? How would your career be different? What about the opportunities you would take? Would you take more? Would you turn down more? How does fear play a role in your life? It shouldn't play any role. And so that is my word for this week. I am determined. I'm determined to live a life without fear. I'm just going to try it for a week. Let me just see what happens, where I do what I want to do without fear. Fearless. That's my word for this week. Scripture says that fear doesn't come from God, that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. So I don't see why I should be having this conversation with fear, basically. So this week is a fearless week for me. That's my word for this week. What's yours? Have a word for the week. Let me know what the word for the week is. Leave a comment below, subscribe, share this video, and have a fearless week. So yeah, and I will see you next week sharing my word for the week. See you later. Bye.